It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Megan Wiggins, who is a professional softball player. How are you doing today?
I'm good. The weather's nice. I'm alive and well, so I'm doing pretty good. No complaints.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional softball?
I don't even know if I knew that I wanted to until I got the opportunity to play professional softball, because just growing up, it just wasn't, you know, I guess in the youth eyes, it wasn't as popular as it is now at a younger age for a lot of these girls. So I really didn't even know it existed growing up, and even, going into college, I don't even think I really knew it existed. So when I got the opportunity, or, approached the opportunity to play, or that I was going to get drafted to play, then it kind of hit me like, okay, I have this opportunity to play professional. Let's do it, So, but then, one day I was actually looking through some old yearbooks in my garage, just kind of cleaning up some stuff. And I looked at one from, it was probably like kindergarten or first grade. And, like the beginning, like bio page is like, this book belongs to so-and-so. And then it kind of goes to a couple of questions. And it was like, what do you want to do, when you grow up, was one of the questions. And this was at kindergarten, first grade. And I was like, I want to be a professional softball player. And I was like, I'm like reading this, like, what? Like, how did I even like come about this? Like, at this point, I mean, I started playing when I was 4. So it was just kind of one of those moments when I read that, I was like, dang, maybe I was meant to do this, regardless if I knew I was meant to do it or not. But yeah, when I got the opportunity to, I just kind of seized the opportunity and, just been rolling with it ever since then. So.
That's pretty impressive that you knew right off the kindergarten that you wanted to be a professional softball player.
Yeah.
Can you,
I knew it and I didn't know I knew it. So.
Can you talk about your time playing with the Georgia Bulldogs in college?
Yeah, I'd love to. I love Georgia. It was definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made, and beyond blessed, and so thankful that they recruited me. I'm from Georgia, born and raised, so it wasn't too far of a drive from home. 45 minutes for my parents and stuff. So it was a great experience, a great part of my life, and I was able to learn so much about myself, about softball, just about the world, being there, and I was able to play for Coach Harris, which she's probably one of the best coaches I've ever played for. Yes, hands down. But just in the game of college softball, she's hands down one of the most I guess decorated coaches, and just one of the best coaches knowledge wise and just insight of the game and experience. I was actually at one of the games the other day, and Georgia softball isn't that old. This year is their 25th season, and I'm pretty sure they said that she's been there for 21 seasons. So she is Georgia softball. And I think, just being able to play under her and, learn so much from her to, be able to get me to the next level. I think she does a good job of preparing her players for the next level. So always beyond, thankful and just so blessed that I was able to have that opportunity for those 4.5 years that I was there, to be able to play for that university, and specifically to be able to play for Coach Harris. So.
What did you accomplish while playing softball in college?
Looking back, I mean, it seems like, there's a lot of things that we accomplished, as a team and individually. You watch a lot of these girls doing, playing now, and it's like, well, dang, what did I didn't win an SEC championship. I didn't win a national championship, but I think the game is, it's elevated since then. It's adapting. It's able to do back in the day, has affected all the girls that are playing now in some way, shape, or form, whether that was how we hit, how we played defense, how we were on the field, off the field, just the level of expectation at the University of Georgia, specifically in the SEC with the NCAA. So I think I accomplished a lot, whether I have a ring to prove it, just being able to look back and, think that, you did obviously the best you can, but, you impacted so many different, younger athletes and so many athletes that are currently playing. And, sometimes some of the girls that I play with, just with the age difference and stuff at the professional level. So you start to realize, a lot of the stuff that you were able to accomplish more so after the fact than during the time that you were doing it. And just seeing the impact that you have on people just by going out there and playing and having fun. So,
what did you accomplish during your time with the Chicago Bandits?
With the Chicago Bandits, they drafted me out of college, so that I'll always have a special place in my heart for them because they gave me a chance to play professionally. Bill Sokolis was the owner at that time, and he drafted me and another one of my teammates, Elisa Goller. And it's surreal at that point. It's surreal that somebody sees value in you and what you were able to accomplish in college, and they think so highly of you that they want to pay you to play. And I think that's the cool thing about becoming a professional is that somebody sees you as an elite athlete so much that they want to invest in you monetarily and then just as a business, right? Professionally it's more of a business than college is. So being able to be viewed as one of the top athletes that did get drafted to play professional, I mean, it's something that everybody doesn't get that chance to feel that. So it was pretty special afterwards. And, I found out a lot about who I was as an athlete. I played with and against, some of the best softball players that will ever be, hitting off Kat Osterman, playing with Monica Abbott, hitting off Danielle Laurie. These are girls that are on their national teams right now. So as a young professional coming straight out of college, it was definitely fun and very, very, very competitive, which I think was some of the most amazing games I've ever had were in those first 4 years with the Bandits, just because the competition level and, the girls that were playing were so good. And, you play the best every single night, so you have to be the best. But yeah, the Bandits loved it. I love Chicago, love Rosemont where the field is. And I think they set a standard, with the facilities that they provide and just the community support and fan engagement. I'm still really close to a lot of the fans that I got to know over those 4 years that I was with the Bandits. So keeping up with them over my professional career has been, something that I've also enjoyed. So, yeah.
What was it like whenever you got drafted with the Bandits straight out of college?
Well, actually, I remember we freaking were playing Alabama at Alabama the night that we found out that we got drafted, because I don't think we actually had a draft yet. So we were literally playing Alabama for one of the SEC series, and I think we actually lost that game. But it was pretty exciting. I found out, at the end of the game, tweets and different things on Facebook and stuff like that. So being able to find out that, again, that you were drafted in a professional draft, that's something that, you can hang your hat on as an athlete, that, again, somebody valued you so much as an athlete. And, it's kind of full circle at that moment that all the hard work and, time that you put into your craft has paid off, literally. So it was awesome. It nothing short of awesome. Honestly, I wish I could go back and do it again and get drafted all over again. So it was definitely something special.
What was it like playing in the Japanese softball league?
Yeah, so I played for them right at basically my first season after I played professionally. So it was that first beginning spring of 2012. Yeah, I went over there in March and I played over there for 5 seasons, and it was life-changing. I think, as an athlete, there's always stuff that you can learn, and it was definitely an amazing experience that I wish everybody could go and, have and go through. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the game. I learned a lot about adapting and communicating. And, it almost made me just love softball that much more, to see their time commitment, their effort, how much passion they have every day, coming to practice. I mean, we would practice all day, and not to be dramatic, but literally all day. And, they do it because they love it, and I think that's something to be admired. And it was just, I built a lot of good relationships and friendships with, a lot of the players out there and a lot of the coaches. But it also was very competitive. Those teams and those girls are really good, so again, you're playing good competition every time you play. But you're practicing a whole lot, so staying focused. And, a lot of the stuff over there is, whether you're successful or not is, how good can you be mentally, and I think that's the true test as a professional is, when you're in different situations, how good can you be, and how strong can you be mentally. So it definitely is something I love. I cherish being able to go over to Japan. I actually was going to go over to Japan again and play this season, but with all the COVID restrictions on travel and stuff like that, I wasn't able to go for the first half, still shooting for the second half after Athletes Unlimited. So
How has being a coach helped you in your professional career as a softball player?
So I usually do, like, in my off seasons, I work with a lot of travel ball teams. I don't have an official coaching title with a specific team. Obviously I've chosen not to since I still play, but I work with a lot of younger athletes and, teams, and just my playing experience, at the higher level, in college, and then even now in the pros. I think there's so much knowledge that you can, pass on to these younger athletes to just make them better now, make them better sooner than later, and I think there's a lot of good insight that we have as, professional athletes, and then, even in college, that we can pass down to these younger athletes that may not know, right? May not know, they've never had to go through something, or they never did something, or, just the training aspect of a lot of it. So being able to continue to play and continue to learn a lot of new things, being able to pass that on to the younger generation is something that I pride myself on, and making sure that, I'm doing my best, and I'm doing, basically, I play the way I tell the younger athletes that I coach to play, hustle on and off the field, show up on time, being able to do that. So, proving to these girls that, one, there's a future in professional softball, that you can play when you're 30, you can play when you're 32, 40. You just gotta work at it. And I think it's definitely something I love being able to do, is coach teams and, different individuals. So.
What was your playing time at BIC Cameron?
Bit Camera, yeah, that was the second team I played for. So I actually played for two teams in the 5 seasons that I was there. And Bit Camera was the second team I played for. So the last 2 years that I was there, I played for them. So that team, the head coach of that team is currently the head coach of the Japan national team. So I really, really liked her. She's tough as nails, but she's a really, really good coach. And, I was able to play with Yukiko Ueno. She's the, reigning Olympic champion from the last Olympics. So being able to play behind her and, some other athletes on that team, it was a really great experience. I learned a lot. Again, being able to adapt and being able to learn more stuff about the game of softball and myself by just putting yourself around good athletes and great competitors and people who love the game just as much as you do. So I loved it. We won my first year with that team. We won a championship, which is really hard to do. And we ended up beating Monica Abbott's team, which was always like a big rivalry between Ueno and Monica Abbott. So being able to do that my first year with a new team was something special. And, again, those are times and memories that I'll, forever cherish with them. But, you just can't get enough of it. It seems like, those types of memories and, being in those big games, playing in front of huge 10,000 plus, fans. It's pretty special. So
Now that you're playing with the Athletes Unlimited, how has your time with the Athletes Unlimited shaped you from your previous experiences?
Yeah, I think Athletes Unlimited is definitely something different. As a professional athlete, you get used to doing things a certain way. So I think this is almost like it's like a it's like a different, like fresh air, right? It's something new, it's something different, it's something vibrant. But you're still playing the game, right? It's nothing different that's going to require you to play differently. They just haven't set up differently. And I think with the setup that they have, it almost instills the really important things about playing softball in general, right? Teamwork, every inning counts. Getting a single, getting a hit, getting a bunt, getting hit by a pitch, like all that matters, and I think, we saw a lot of how we scored our games kind of trickle down into the college world and even travel ball world, where people were starting to use the point system. So it's a cool way to play. It's a different outlook. But it was one of the best things I've ever been a part of, because, you're not on a team per se. You're just playing with a lot of really great athletes that you're basically playing backyard softball every weekend, right? Because you get team captains, they pick teams, and, different things like that. But, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about, continuing to be successful, and how am I going to be the best version of myself every time I go out there and play a game. So we did a lot of great things on the field, as the inaugural season with COVID and everything like that. We made it happen, and hats off to the people in the background that made it happen. Hats off to the 56 athletes that were able to come out and, put their trust in this whole new experience. But definitely going to keep growing with that. I think Athletes Unlimited is a very special place, and I think they have all the right intentions with moving this game forward. So it's exciting to be a part of, for sure.
Who are some of the key players that you know that have played with the Athletes Unlimited?
Yeah, so a lot of players, a lot of my teammates were there, and then people that I've played with over the years, like, one of the rivalries and teammates, I was able to play with Kat Osterman. I played with her when I joined the USSA Pride after, I left the Bandits. So I was able to play with her, but I've also played against her when I was on the Bandits. So that was always a good rivalry. So we actually got to play together as teammates during Athletes Unlimited, and we were opponents during Athletes Unlimited. So it's always a great rivalry and great competition when we get to play against each other, because we've literally been playing against each other basically my whole professional career, which this will be my 11th season. So that was a familiar face. But there was a lot of people that I have never played against or have never played with. And, just getting the opportunity to play with new people every week, again, that gives you the opportunity to learn new things about you, to get to know other people. But let's see, Haley McClinney, we got to play. I played with her on the Pride a couple years back. So we got to play. Actually, I don't remember if we played together. I don't know if we actually played together in Athletes Unlimited. We played against each other. So great outfielder, great ball player, always consistent. So just being able to see her shine at this level, she's getting ready for the Olympics. Let's see, who else? Another person that I've never played with until Athletes Unlimited was Haley Wagner. Always played against her with the Bandits. So that was a familiar opposition. But I know she's a great competitor, a great person, great player, great teammate. So it was really fun being able to play with her and get to know her, play behind her as a pitcher. Let's see, who else? So many people I played with. Hannah Flippin's another one. Victoria Hayward. We actually never played with each other in Athletes Unlimited. We only played against each other. So keeping my fingers crossed for season 2. Let's see. I'm trying to think, who are a couple other people? Yeah, I mean, literally, there were so many, and it was so cool because, you only know these people via social media, and you never really get to play with them or against them unless you're on the same team or you're, playing in the league or whatever. But we had a lot of younger girls that, whether it's her first year out of college or, kind of a couple years out of college, or you're coming from out of town, what have you. But there was a lot of new people that I didn't already know or that never played with that I was like, dang, I really like her, right? She's a good ball player. She's a good teammate. So that's just something I'm, looking forward to for the next season with AU.
What are some of the similarities and differences between Athletes Unlimited and the triple US Triple S?
Yeah, so with the USSA Pride, some of the similarities, like again, I was able to play with some of my teammates, so I know them, right? I know we've played together, we know how to play, we communicate if we're on the same team. But again, you're playing the same game when you go out there, whether you're with the USSA Pride, whether you're at the Bandits, whether you're at the AU. And I think that's the cool part is, being able to continue to play the same game, but at the same time, you're elevating your game because you're playing with new people, right? You're having to adapt. You're having to, kind of play freely, right? Because you're not comfortable on a team. You're just going out there and being the best that you can be. I think that's the cool thing about AU, and you're able to bring that out, and you kind of strike a different level of competitiveness because nobody wants to get picked last, right? Nobody wants to get picked last in backyard baseball, softball when you have captains. So it's like it requires you to stay on top of your game, not to get comfortable, to continue to work, right? Because you want the respect of your peers. You want the people who are picking teams to think that you're good enough to be picked. So, and again, I think that goes with, playing on a professional team like the USSA Pride is going out there come spring training or every game, showing up and being the best you can be, and being able to play with each other at a very high level. So that's the exciting part, is always being able to play at a high level with high level athletes.
What are some of your future accomplishments and what are some of your future plans when it comes to the professional playing career?
Well, I mean, I want to be the best softball player ever. That's pretty much what I want to check off my list. And being able to accomplish more than I have, that's just a blessing that I can hope for each season that I go out there and, continue to play with no injuries and continue to learn and grow, and continue to play successfully, with my teammates, new teams, whatever it is just to be consistent and be one of the best softball players ever. And then just professionally, I mean, being able to continue and play and give opportunities to athletes that come after me and be able to set a standard for younger athletes, that are in college, that are playing travel ball, to just set a standard for professional softball and make that, an avenue that these younger athletes can hope to get to, to be able to get paid to play and make it an actual career where you can count on, the finances you need to do to train all year round and be able to play in a professional capacity. I think that's something that I want to accomplish and help, drive for the future is, providing professional opportunities in the softball world for younger athletes. So when they're done playing in college, they have somewhere else to play. It's not necessarily the end of their softball career.
As a professional athlete, do you have another paying job or is it just professional athlete? Like I know, for example, in the NWHL, they have a side job and just because they don't make enough money.
Right. Yeah, I do. And I was talking about Japan. Japan was my other side job when I was doing that and coming and playing. And so I think that's very common. I work for a company that also, it's technically part-time. They allow me to continue to play, which is great. And I love that. But as a part-time job, being able to juggle all of it and then still be good at all of it. But you'll see a lot of the girls that they coach, they play over in Japan. They have other jobs at home. They do lessons with travel ball with girls and different things like that. So it definitely is, I don't know, everybody said it, but majority of the players do have other jobs where they're getting other income. And, honestly, I want to be a part of something that changes that gives opportunities to women that they don't have to have 15 different jobs, 15 different income, coming in. But being able to come and play and play softball and that be your only job, and make it a good job, right? You come in and you do good. And I think I want to be a part of something like that allows us to be able to have one job, and that's to play softball and be good at it. So
what advice would you give upcoming college athletes looking to play professional softball?
I would tell them just hang on, keep your cleats on, don't hang them up anytime soon. Always trying to, again, provide more opportunities to these girls the world deserves to see, and would hate for that just to end after college because the professional world can't make it work. So trying to be a part of something that can provide those opportunities and allow these girls to play longer, right? To play longer, to get paid to play, to make this a career. So just hang on, keep playing, keep being great, and just hang on, and hopefully you'll have an opportunity soon.
What advice would you give upcoming current players and future players looking to play professional softball?
The same thing. I think there's always tough decisions that professional players have to make, and a lot of it has to do with finances, whether they can handle continue to playing professional, or do they have to go out and get a real career job, 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job. But just hang on, right? Keep demanding the best, keep bringing the best, and just hang on for the future, and hopefully we can make it worth everybody being able to stay around and continue their playing career, because I think it's something special. We have a lot of great players in the game right now, and the world deserves to see it. So
where can my listeners find you at on social media?
I have my predominant one that I use is really Instagram. I have Facebook, Instagram, and then Twitter. Instagram, I think it's Megan Wiggins 25. And then Facebook, you can probably just look me up, just my name, Megan Wiggins. And then Twitter, it's at the Megan Wiggins. So those are my predominant social media platforms that I use.
Thank you again, Megan Wiggins, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as a professional softball player.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Megan Wiggins, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thanks, Brandon.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.